November 1999. A small town in Nigeria's Niger Delta wakes up to a terrifying sound. Helicopters circling overhead, then gunfire, and after that, an eerie silence. By the time it was all over, an entire community had been nearly wiped off the map. This is the story of the Odi Massacre. Odi was a quiet riverside town in Bayelsa State, Nigeria. It was a place of fishermen, traders, and families who had called it home for generations. But in the late 1990s, the Niger Delta was a pressure cooker. Oil production was booming, bringing incredible wealth to international companies and government revenue. Yet for many local communities, the story was very different. They were left to deal with the aftermath: polluted lands, poisoned waters, and deepening poverty. Tensions were already running high between local militant groups and Nigerian security forces. And then, in early November 1999, things reached a boiling point. 12 Nigerian police officers were tragically killed near Odi during clashes linked to militant activity. The Nigerian government pointed the finger at militants they claimed were hiding within the town. Within days, the military was deployed. On November 20th, 1999, Nigerian soldiers moved into Odi. What followed, according to reports from human rights groups and journalists, was not a targeted operation, but a full-scale military assault. Homes were shelled and destroyed. Buildings were systematically burned to the ground. Thousands of terrified residents fled for their lives, disappearing into the surrounding forests and creeks. Witness accounts and later investigations painted a devastating picture. Most of the town was utterly destroyed, with only a handful of buildings like the bank and the church left standing. The exact number of people who died has never been officially confirmed. Some reports suggest dozens were killed. Others estimate hundreds of civilians lost their lives. To this day, the true human cost remains a painful, disputed figure. The international community was horrified. Human rights organizations condemned the attack, labeling it an excessive and disproportionate use of force against civilians. For years, survivors fought for justice and accountability. Finally, more than a decade later, a Nigerian court ordered the federal government to pay compensation to the victims of Odi, a landmark ruling that acknowledged the scale of the destruction. But for many families, no amount of money could ever replace what was stolen. Entire family histories, homes built over generations, and the very fabric of community life were gone forever. Today, the town of Odi has been rebuilt, but the name still carries the heavy weight of what happened in November 1999. It serves as a permanent, haunting reminder of how quickly power, fear, and retaliation can shatter the lives of ordinary people. History doesn't just live in textbooks. Sometimes it lives in the memory of places people are still trying to put back together. Thanks for watching. If you believe these stories need to be told, please like, share, and subscribe.